I can't remember how I
start these things.
Yeah. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we are talking all about the top 3 signs that you can expect to experience when twin flame reunion is coming up. So if you're looking to know what those signs are, watch this video. Alright guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am Serena.
And I'm James.
And we are Life After Union, 2 twin flames in union. We make these weekly videos to help you on your twin flame awakening journey and navigating your conscious relationships and basically everything spiritual awakening. So this week on Twin Flame Q&A, we have basically the top 3 signs that we've both experienced when we knew like twin flame reunion was around the corner. And so if you watch a lot of our videos, we're not actually used to using the terminology reunion because I think we just use it as union. Like that's why our name in like this channel is Life After Union, because like we just normally say union. We don't say reunion. But
well, because we're kind of in union from the very first time that we met. It kind of all fell into place. We just had that slight separation, but we weren't ever not in union. We're still united in a way.
So that's really funny to hear you say that, because I think some people would be really triggered by what you just said.
Definitely.
But if you guys are
Personal
watching
experience.
this and you are a twin flamer and you are really into like the traditional terminologies of things, what James just said might have been really confusing because, and this is actually literally exactly what I was going to just explain, is most people qualify as the first time you meet your twin flame as union. Like you come into union, then you go into separation, and then the journey to reunion starts. So that's why we're using the terminology reunion in this specific video, because of the fact that it's the twin flame terminology that most people use. So basically what we're going to share with you today is the 3 things that you can look out for when that separation is coming to an end, when reunion is very, very close. So the first thing is you've likely done a lot of work up until this point. You've likely addressed a lot of triggers, a lot of emotional wounds. And you're probably approaching, if not already, at a state where you feel really good about yourself. You've done a lot of work. You feel really whole and complete within yourself. And so what's really interesting about this point in the journey, I feel like, is you still desire your twin flame relationship, right? Like that doesn't go anywhere, but you approach it from a completely new lens. So you're not approaching reunion or a relationship with your twin from the lens of I need it in order to feel whole and complete. It's actually the opposite. It's like I am whole and complete, so this is the natural next step. You know, it kind of almost becomes very practical in a way, because it's like, okay, yes, of course, this is what would be best aligned with my soul and the evolution I want to take and the journey I want to be on. And so that next step would just naturally occur as reunion. Do you have anything to say on that?
No, I think you pretty much covered all of it. Because I mean, personally for me, the way I see it is when we first met is when we came into union. Even though we went on separate ways in essentially separation, I don't see us ever not being united, because I feel that as soon as we kind of bonded, you can't really unbond that you reunited. It kind of stays united through it. Even if you do end up wanting to split down the line, you're still united in that front.
Yeah, and I think that's a really interesting point, because that's kind of the 5D, 3D separation, you know, like that's that split mind kind of thing. So if you have a lot of guilt or shame around being in separation and like, oh, you know, I'm not where I'm supposed to be because I'm in separation, right? You can actually use that perspective shift to make you feel better, right? Because in the 5D, you're already united, right? And as you kind of mentioned, like as soon as you meet your twin or you have that instant recognition or whatever it is that ignites this journey for you.
Lights your flame.
Exactly. Whatever that is for you in this scenario, you can look at it as that. Like you're already in union. You've already began that catalysm, you know, so you don't have to think about like, oh, just because we're not in physical union, that's not all there is to the scenario. You can be in physical union and not be in emotional and spiritual union. There's many times throughout our journey where we've physically been together, we're in a relationship, but we're not united in like mind, body, spirit kind of a thing. Like we might even be like opposing each other or in old programs. and in that way we're not united, you know. So I think that's a really good point to make, is it's not just about physical union, it's about all.
It's every single level. There's no one level that you like, if I have this level we in union completely, because there is a multitude of levels you actually have to go through. And you're not always going to be, as you were saying, in union on all those levels, because unfortunately that's not the way relationships work. At times you're going to be in different places, whether it be physically, whether it be emotionally, whether it be spiritually, whether it be just your ideologies. There'll always be a few things that might not line up 100%. And for a lot of times, that's also just the way relationships work. There's always going to be, especially with the twin flames, because you guys will say you're a soul mirror, a mirror soul. So you always kind of, in some ways, opposing each other, but not in a negative way, which obviously causes there to be that kind of thought process.
Yeah, you're reflecting each other. Yeah, you're showing each other the other side of it. Yeah, 100%. So at this point, you know, you're going to probably embody that wisdom. You're going to embody the wisdom of, we are in union, and that is probably a lot of why you feel whole and complete, is because you're in union with yourself. So naturally what would come next is point number 2, which is your physical reality. That was such a nice segue. Your physical reality is going to start reflecting this inner work that you've been doing. So it might be that you start making plans. Like for us, it was, okay, we sat down and we talked practically about buying plane tickets and who's going to come to who and what are we going to do and where are we going to live. And we started talking about all these very practical, grounded things about coming back into union. And now that might not be exactly what's happening for you yet, but there's so many things in your physical reality that might start reflecting these things back to you. So you might have gotten a new job opportunity. You might be moving. Things in your physical reality may be shifting and changing, and you'll probably likely feel a lot of peace and a lot of security around where you're at in your physical reality. And like things are kind of starting to fall into place. They're feeling natural. You're getting opportunities that you wanted. You feel like you're on top of your manifestation techniques, and like you're really owning your power as a conscious creator.
But there's one very important thing to note, is that when this starts to happen, there is no exact timeline from when it starts to when that will happen. Because if I even think about our journey, I had gone through that about 2 years before I even met you, and I had that, I don't want to say peacefulness in me, but everything kind of felt very right. I was starting to explore, I was starting to do things for me, where once we met, that's what ignited in your want to come in. So we had quite a big time gap between how long each of our period was to get to that point. So there is no set amount of time that, you know, it could be, it can't be like, oh, well, after a week it's going to happen, or it could be after 5 years it could happen. You just have to follow along your journey as it comes to you.
Yeah, and know that at this point, probably a lot of the blocks, like physical barriers or blocks that were keeping you from reunion, are going to start falling away now. So like when I think of your scenario, right, like you being in the trans sky was a block to me coming back here, right?
Physical block.
Yeah, so it was like a physical barrier. So that part of your reality had to fall away and had to change. You had to physically move your location and come back to where we are now.
Yeah.
And so then from there things started falling into place for you. So you got a job offer, and like, you know, things
5 months later.
like things started to fall into place, and in terms of like how your new reality was going to be set up, you know. And that doesn't mean you have it all figured out. It just means things start moving a little bit more smoothly than maybe they are during the spiritual awakening phase of separation.
And that's forever evolving as well as the relationship continues.
Always, yes. It's ever
Never
evolving.
ends.
Which leads us to a sense of, so, okay, what's really interesting here, right, is you feel really whole and complete with yourself. Everything seems to be lining up, yet
Yep.
there is some sort of fear, anxiety, nervousness that you start experiencing. You start feeling like jumpy, or like you have a ton of energy building up inside of you. And this happens for a couple reasons. So this can happen because you know something big is around the corner, okay? So, and this doesn't mean you're like going outside of yourself. This means you're still managing it. You've done a lot of work, so you're still watching the energies as they're coming up. You're still dealing with it in productive ways.
Better understanding of it.
Yes, you have a better understanding of it, but you can feel it. The energy is palpable. You know something big is coming. And that is going to make a lot of surface level anxiety come up, you know. There's also going to be then fear that's going to be activated. And this can happen because one of the last things that's going to happen not to everybody. Again, as James said before, these points can happen at different points throughout the journey. It's not like a linear thing. It's a very, it's very random for a lot of twins. And different points may happen in different sequential orders for different twins. So I hope that made sense. But that being said, you know that there's a leap coming. You can feel that you're going to have to make the leap. And that's kind of for me and for us, one of the last things was we both had to make this leap and say, okay, we're coming together with both of our energies. We're going to make this happen. It was a consensual thing on both of our parts. And we both had to make that leap in order to come into reunion. So do you want to talk a little bit about the nervousness or the anxiety?
I mean, from my personal experience, from obviously our reunion, if you want to call it that, you were obviously back home in the States. You were taking this big gamble to get to me. For me, I was obviously already here in South Africa. I moved from the Transkei where we met back to my hometown where we currently live. During that process, I did not know whether this was going to play out to where we are right now, or if it was going to kind of, for lack of worse terms or better terms, blow up in my face. So there's a lot of nervousness. I still even remember when I drove from here to Cape Town to come pick you up from the airport and I had like a night or two by myself. I was ticking. I didn't sleep a hell of a lot. Like, I was very nervous. Even in the morning when I was driving to come pick you up from the airport, like, my heart was pumping. I was like, is this going to be what I thought it was? Are you still going to like me? Or are you still the person you were when I met you? There's a lot of things that come up which you could call kind of doubt or just insecurities or nervousness or whatever it might be. I mean, obviously you would have feel the emotion when it comes to you, but at the same time, that also shows you, or at least showed me, how much I also really wanted this to actually become what it is, because, both of us taking huge leaps and left a huge part of ourselves and a part of our life behind in order to come together, in order to actually make things the way they are today.
Yeah.
Which is not easy, and it's bloody nerve-wracking.
Yeah. It is nerve-wracking. And I think if you're in this stage and you know this is coming up for you, the best thing that you can do is lean into that trust and that surrender. Because actually I was talking about this with one of our clients the other day, and if you are looking for more support on this journey, we are launching our second round of group Twin Flame coaching. This is called the Twin Flame Path to Awakening. So if you're new to our videos, check out the information down below. This is an incredible 6-month-long program with 3 personal one-on-one sessions where you can be guided literally by us, mentors that have been through this before. Literally, this program has been made amazing by our wonderful beta testers that took this program before. So we have now expanded so many of the sections, so much more deep healing, and to do this with a community of like-minded people that are actually on your same aligned journey. It's like the number one thing that people tell me when they work with me personally or in a group setting is like, I thought I was delusional. I thought I was freaking crazy. I thought like I was just out of my mind. And using a group setting or just talking to somebody who understands what you're going through, it's like the most empowering thing. I can't even put it into words how empowering it is. So if you're looking to catalyze your journey, April 2025, we are beginning our next round. Get your applications in now. Yes, it's very exciting. So if you're looking for more support, check the links down below. You can apply, and just keep in mind it takes us time to get through the applications and make sure we're a good fit to work together. So basically, the client that I was working with was saying, how it was hard for her to admit what she actually wanted. And so what you were saying about the fear and the anxiety of like, oh God, like I actually really want this to work out. She was saying like it was hard for her to admit that she wanted this to work, because that like you, and if you think about it, it makes so much sense, but you can only truly surrender something if you admit to wanting it in the first place. If you're not willing to admit to yourself, like, I really want this, then you can't even actually really surrender it, It's like a false surrender, because it's like, okay, I'm letting go. Yeah, they might not be my twin flame. It might not work out. We might never come into union. Okay, release, right? And you can let it all go. But if you're not willing to say, I want them to be my twin flame, I want this relationship to work out, I want to come into union or reunion with them, then
I'm willing to sacrifice to get it.
I'm willing to put it all out on the line. Then surrender that. that is a big surrender. Like, you can feel the difference in that surrender. It's massive.
You can see it in your face as well.
It's huge. No, but it is a big energetic difference. It might not sound that different as we're speaking it, but the energy is so different. To be able to say, this is what I want, this is the deepest soul desire I have, and I'm willing to put it all out there. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, right? And I will be crushed and heartbroken. And to be able to admit that to yourself and surrender that and trust that the universe has got your back and the universe is going to bring you exactly what you've asked for and more, that's the biggest surrender you could ever have. And so it's massive. And that's why that fear and that anxiety come out, is because it is huge. It's literally the biggest evolution of your soul. So how could it not be scary? That's like that quote, if your goals don't scare you, they're not big enough.
Yeah.
You know? That's very much like the same thing. Like, if it doesn't scare you, if you don't have anxiety, reunion is not around the corner for you. it's
more than
likely
it's
not around the corner for you if there isn't some sort of anxiety or fear coming up. So let us know in the comments below if you are in union or reunion has occurred for you. Let us know, what experiences did you have coming into that phase, or let us know, are you experiencing these 3 things down below, and keep us updated on your journey and let us know, like, when does it happen? Does it happen? We'd love to hear from you.
Come join our group coaching.
Yes, and please come join our group coaching. We would love to have you. Obviously, of course, alignment is our most important key factor. So when you fill out the application, we want to hear from you. We want to know what's going on for you in your twin flame journey. We want to connect. We want to support you. We want to help you reach your goals. So yeah, 100%. Sign up. Check the links down below. And we will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for being here today.
Bye.